Esoteric Freemasonry. Freemasonry explained. Esoteric Freemasonry is a branch of Freemasonry that focuses on the study and practice of esoteric knowledge. This knowledge is typically explored through symbolic readings and interpretations of Masonic rituals, as well as the exploration of mysticism and other philosophies. Many fraternal organizations, including some Masonic lodges, have added esoteric knowledge as an element to their organization, thereby making them a hybrid fraternal society. In general, however, esoteric Masonry refers to those organizations that have adopted elements of esotericism as part of their regular practice. There are many degrees and orders that fall under this category. Watch this video to learn more about esoteric Freemasonry, its history, its detractors, and more. What is esotericism, and how does it differ from Masonic rituals' esoteric work? Esoteric work in Masonry refers to components of Masonic ritual and instruction that are to be communicated only to a fully qualified member and are not to be written or published. Esotericism encompasses a wide range of studies and practices. Antoine Favre, professor of esoteric and mystical currents in modern and contemporary Europe at the École pratique des Hautes Études Sorbonne in Paris, provides a fair overview of what esotericism implies in an academic setting. His contributions to the Sunny series on Western esoteric traditions are among his most renowned works. According to Favre, the term esotericism has traditionally been applied to three major areas of study since its first use in 1828. Arcana kept secret knowledge or secret science and passed it on to a select few. Masonic ritual is done in secret, and it can be considered as a science through which Masons become more educated in the fraternity's ideals, virtues, and obligations. Drama, symbolism, and allegory are important techniques in this science. These approaches are widely acknowledged to have educational value in the realm of education, yet nowhere are they applied and perpetuated as they are in Masonry. Techniques relating to truths hidden or secluded within nature or man, which can only be attained by those who have achieved or received agnostic or transformative experience. According to our ritual, speculative Masonry leads the contemplative to view with reverence and adoration the wonderful works of creation, and inspires him with the most elevated notions of his divine Creator's perfections. Through a geometry, we discover the power, wisdom, and goodness of the grand artificer of the universe, and marvel at the proportions that link this immense machine. Clearly, these statements are not restricted to moral issues, nor do they identify behaviors or doctrines unique to any one religion. Hermeticism, alchemy, astrology, Kabbalah, Christian theosophy, and others that can be subjected to historical studies. Although our craft ritual does not openly refer to such traditions and teachings, many esotericists believe that allusions to them can be found throughout the teachings and symbols of our rituals. Some historians, both Masonic and non-Masonic, hypothesize that various esoteric traditions and ideas influenced the founding and/or development of speculative Masonry, particularly given the plethora of rites and degrees with overt references to such traditions that began just a few decades after the Grand Lodge of England was founded. Such references can still be found in certain degrees of the appendant rituals today, but they do not obligate Masons to follow the teachings or practices of any particular religion. Where can I find Masonic odorists, and what do they do? In every other way, they are regular Master Masons in good standing who serve the fraternity in every jurisdiction, auxiliary body, and official position. They pursue esotericism for personal reasons, not because they believe it is a requirement of Masonry. They are brothers attempting to advance in Masonry by examining life's big questions. Where did I come from? What am I doing here? What am I doing? What is the fundamental character of reality? What is the definition of wisdom, truth, or beauty, etc.? Introspection, know thyself. What am I truly certain about and value? What are my strengths and weaknesses? What are my hidden hopes and anxieties that shape how I think, feel, and act? What changes do I need or want to make, etc.? They are historians who study esoteric influences on Masonic ritual, symbols, and ideologies. They pose queries like, to what extent did early Masons care about matters like this? What piqued their interest in them? How did such interests influence Masonry's beliefs, values, and ideals as we know them today? They are academics who conduct comparative studies of Masonry's ritual, symbolism, and teachings in comparison to other fraternal, philosophical, and spiritual traditions. They pose queries like, what are the similarities and distinctions between Masonry and other religious traditions? What similarities and contrasts might provide insight into the meanings of our rituals, symbols, and myths? They are life students seeking greater illumination through studies in psychology, sociology, anthropology, mythology, philosophy, religion, history, languages, and other disciplines. Masonry teaches us to polish and embellish our minds, to grow in our studies, to better our connections with others, to always seek more light, and to seek the lost. Each of these noble endeavors is developed by disciplines in the humanities, liberal arts, and sciences that address the individual human person, society, and culture, all of which are Masonic concerns. They are contemplatives who engage in various forms of meditation, including prayer. Meditation has been practiced and commended by many of history's most beloved saints and recognized sages, as well as a significant number of current psychologists and clergy. Meditation has been identified as the key that unlocks the door to spiritual enlightenment and has been lauded as an essential means of achieving the highest levels of peace, joy, health, artistic creativity, personal productivity, philosophical insight, and understanding and compassion for our fellow human beings. In short, meditation is recognized as a useful working tool for achieving what Masonry values. Why have I not heard or seen more about Masonic odorists? They may not wish to impose their opinions on others. Many esotericists have discovered that the insights and inspirations gained through the study and practice of esotericism are sometimes very personal and difficult to express to others, particularly those who have not done similar work. They may not want to incite anti-Masonic sentiment. While Masonic esotericists understand that no single member or subgroup of the fraternity speaks for the entire fraternity, they are also aware that anti-Masons sometimes base their bigoted criticisms of the fraternity on the thoughts and beliefs of a few Masonic esotericists. Of fact, these criticisms are invariably founded on very restrictive theological ideas, which nearly always rule out esotericists' generally open-minded readiness to examine diverse beliefs and practices. They might want to avoid clashes with their anti-esoteric brothers. Unfortunately, some Masons have major prejudices of their own, and as a result, Esoteric brethren who have spoken up have too frequently been derided as misguided zealots, inept scholars, stupid dupes, delusional crackpots, or even malevolent phonies. Why should anyone be against esotericism in Masonry? Some people may mistake esotericism for something unmasonic. Most esoteric Masons are people who practice conventional Masonry in duly formed lodges in accordance with the ancient charges and landmarks. Masonic esotericists do not make Masonry into a religion, though they frequently investigate its spiritual ramifications. Being a Masonic esotericist does not imply membership in, or participation in, unrecognized, bogus, or clandestine organizations claiming the right to make Masons. Some may worry that esotericism is incompatible with Abrahamic faiths or even satanic. Masonic esotericists hold the same principles, values, and ideals as all Masons, regardless of their personal religious views. From a fundamentally conservative or fundamentalist perspective, esotericism may appear to be nothing more than heresy, if not evil, but the same is true of Masonry. From this vantage point, one's own beliefs are usually the only ones that are good or true, while everything else is wicked or wrong. Esoteric traditions have existed and continue to exist in all three of the great Western faiths. There are contemplative practices of monastic orders such as the Jesuits in Christianity, as well as apostolic organizations and churches that are Gnostic in approach. There are several esoteric currents in Judaism, notably the Orthodox Chabad Kabbalists of the Chassidim. There are Sufi orders in Islam. Masonic esotericists have not always used the greatest standards in their historical investigation of Masonry, resulting in easily debunked assertions concerning the fraternity's origins. This pattern has frequently been due to insufficient investigation, untrustworthy or discredited sources, and overconfidence in speculation rather than any effort to mislead people. The most knowledgeable Masonic esotericists understand the distinction between speculation and substantial conclusions, and they are at ease admitting which types of thoughts they are articulating. Masonic esotericists have been accused openly by some Masons of intellectual arrogance and elitism. Some Masons have been overzealous in portraying what they have individually discovered in their esoteric studies and activities as the secret or genuine meanings of Masonic ritual and symbols. Such authors' insistence that a genuine Mason must be an esotericist who thinks exactly like them can be offensive at times. Intolerance and narrow-mindedness are not acceptable from esotericists any more than they are from any other Mason. Masonic esotericists who are conscientious recognize that no single Mason or group of Masons speaks for the entire brotherhood. They also enthusiastically realize that there are many different interests that men might pursue in Masonry, that we all have equal obligations to one another, and that our brotherhood is bonded in its devotion to God and by the cement of brotherly love and affection. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.